everybody, thank you so much for joining me again for another of Rachel's exercise classes. You need your mat, your yoga brick and your piece of stretchy band. If you haven't got stretchy band, then an old tie or belt will do, but actually the band is better, so if you can get some, it's quite reasonable on Amazon. So we're starting off standing up, so just standing, feet flat on the ground, really feel the bottom of your feet on the floor. Even weight between both feet, knees nice and soft, shoulders down away from your ears, chin gently tucked in. Imagine that balloon from the back of your head taking you up towards the roof. Just start off with some nice gentle shoulder rolls, so right up to your ears, all the way around, back and down. Really get the shoulders moving. Think about the legs a little bit. Watch you're not gripping with the front of the thighs or the buttocks. Just get the shoulder blades moving over the ribs at the back. That's great. Keep the shoulders down and soft little fingers on the side seam of your trousers and just floating the arms up. Either just to shoulder height or all the way up towards the sky. And coming back down again. So you could do that with a breath. Maybe breathing in as you float the arms up. Reach right up. And then breathing out as you come back down again. And again. Breath in as you just float the arms up. Remember, sore shoulders, just go to shoulder height or wherever it starts to hurt and then come back down again. And just going one more of those. And coming back down. Then take the legs a little bit further apart, so hip width apart maybe. Tuck one elbow in by your side, fingers pointing to the roof. And this time you're just going to reach right up towards the ceiling. So you're really lengthening right down through that one side. And bring that arm down. Other side, elbow tucking in, fingers pointing to the roof, and you're going right up on that other side. So you should feel the weight just gently shifting over onto that leg. You're not coming onto one foot, but you are moving your weight from one side to the other. So big lengthen all the way through that side. And coming down, elbows tucking in, fingers to the sky. Long reach up and down and just going again, stretching right up, right up, right up, shift the weight over and releasing down and going one more of those. Lovely. So you're really getting a nice lengthening through the side of the body there. Okay, we're going to do a little bit of balancing. Remember, if your balance isn't great, stand near something to put a finger on. Aim not to hold on, just have the cupboard there or the kitchen worktop, just in case you need to hold something. So stand tall, peel one foot off the floor, bring the knee up in front. So you can just do that. Feel the other foot on the ground. And then switch legs. So feel the foot first, fold the knee up. That's good. Remember, you can do balancing anytime, you know, if you've got a moment or two in the kitchen or if you're waiting for the kettle to boil or something. Just a little bit of standing on one leg. Back onto the first foot. Those feeling nice and steady, maybe turn your head to the right. And come back, turn your head to the left, and back. Switch feet. Remember, if turning your head is too much of a challenge, you can just move your eyes, so you can just take your eyes to the right, and come back, eyes to the left, and back. That's great. Back onto the first leg. Knee up in front. Those feeling steady, how about floating the arms up? One arm out to the side. Other arm out to the side. And back in again. Arms coming down. Switch legs. Feel the foot on the floor. Fold the knee. Arms floating up. One arm out sideways. And back in. Those feeling well balanced, you could turn your head maybe as you move the arm. That's a little bit more tricky. So turning your head, arm going out to the side and back in. Fantastic, great. Bring the arms down, pop both feet down, lie yourself down on the mat, just in the relaxation position. Remember, pop your head on a little thin towel or a rolled up pillow or a little thin book if you're a little bit stiff through your upper back and neck. So coming down to the mat. So knees bent, feet flat, legs about hip width apart. So you want your thighs parallel, so like sort of two train tracks pointing up towards the ceiling. Relax the hands down. Chin gently tucked in, so you're looking at the ceiling slightly in front of you. Just think of your body sort of melting down into the mat. So just letting your body sink into the floor a little. And then just sort of take your awareness to your breathing. Don't change anything. So just see if you can notice whether you're breathing all down into the tummy, or whether it's all up at the top of the chest. Maybe put one hand on the top of your chest, just underneath your neck. Other hand on your upper tummy. And just keep going with your breathing. Not massive big in-breaths, you're not forcing the air out, it's just a natural breath. And then maybe see if you could just breathe underneath the tummy hand a little bit more. So as you breathe in, the tummy gently floats up. And as you breathe out, the tummy goes down. Gentle breath in, tummy coming up. Gentle breath out, the tummy's going down. And then maybe bring your arms across your body, so you're sort of giving yourself a low hug. So then you've got your fingers on your ribs at the sides, either side. And just think about breathing sideways out into your hands. So lateral breath, so filling up the sides of the lungs, breathing into the side of the ribs. So you can just press very slightly with your hands. That just gives you a little bit of resistance, a little bit of feeling about where you're aiming to get that breath going. If you can hear something snoring, it's the dog, not my husband gone to sleep while he's filming. She snores quite loud for a little dog. Fantastic. Okay. Maybe take both arms up towards the roof, back of the shoulders on the mat. Got that little bit of a hollow through your lower back. One arm going back over the top of your head, towards the back wall or the wall behind you, and come back up. Other arm going back over. So alternate arms. Think of drawing a big rainbow with your middle finger, going right back over. Don't worry if you don't get to the floor, you're just going in that direction. Surprising how quickly your shoulders start to stiffen up actually if you're not doing your normal activities. So alternate arms. Just watching that the ribs aren't sticking up in front and not allowing your back to arch more off the floor. Maybe both arms going back together next time. Straight back over the top of your head. And come back up. See if you can feel anything going on through your lower tummy. So as the arm goes back, you're wanting the tummy to gently drop in away from the waistband of your trousers. And then as you come back up, You're keeping that dropped in feeling. Could go a little bit wider with the arms, so more like a V shape. And back up. And again, maybe a little bit wider with the arms. And come back up. Great, okay. Same arm and leg. So send the right arm back, slide that right leg down the mat. Toes up towards you, press out through the bottom of your foot. And back up. Left arm and left leg. And up. So toes up towards you. You're pressing out through the bottom of your foot. Nice and smooth. Pelvis staying level. So if you had just like a snooker triangle or something on your lower tummy, 3 or 4 balls sitting in the triangle, that's staying completely level. So the pelvis is staying level. It doesn't tip from side to side. That's good. Okay, see if you can do diagonal arm and leg. So right arm going back, left leg down the mat. And come back up. Left arm and right leg. Toes up towards you, still pressing out through the bottom of your foot. Right arm, left leg. Left arm, right leg. Next time, both arms and one leg. So both arms going back. One leg down the mat. Both arms going back. The other leg going down the mat. That's great. Okay, one of each. So, right arm and right leg. Left arm and left leg. Diagonal arm and leg. Right arm and left leg. Left arm and right leg. Both arms and one leg. Still keep that feeling of pressing through the bottom of the foot. Both arms and the other leg. That's good. So now we're back to same arm and leg, right and right. And then we're left and left. And then the diagonal. So you're thinking of a gentle, strong centre. Right arm and left leg. Left arm and right leg. Both arms, one leg. Just normal breathing. So you want to watch you're not holding your breath. So just breathing in and out. Both arms and one leg. Okay, one arm back, one arm sideways, one leg down the mat. So a bit like a policeman at the stop sign with the arms. One arm back, one arm sideways, one leg down the mat. That's good. Sore shoulders, don't do too many with the arms, especially over the top of the head. You could keep going, you could do them all, you know, with the arm going sideways rather than back if you wanted to. That's great. Okay, bring the arms down, feet fairly close to your bottom, feet down flat on the floor, arms beside you. We're going to do a spine curl, so press into your feet, peel your back up away from the floor, nice and smooth, one bone at a time. Just coming up, straight line, knees, hips, ribs. Hold there a moment, roll back down. So think of your back like that nice string of beads, just peeling it up or off the table, one bead at a time as you come up. Or as you go down, you're placing one bead at a time back onto the floor. And again, pressing into your feet, peel your bottom up. And roll all the way down. So you could stick with that. If you wanted to change it a little bit, you could curl up. Just pop your fingers over the front of your hip joint. So if you find your hip bones, they're the sticky outy bits sticking up towards the ceiling, come down a couple of inches to that sort of crease at the top of your groin, and then just drop the hips there a little bit. Squeeze your bottom, push back up. Drop down a little bit. Push back up. Drop down, press back up. Should be your buttock doing most of the work. Drop down, press back up. So the aim is not to lift as high as you possibly can. I know yoga tends to encourage you to lift right up as far as you can, but just coming up to that straight line. So you could have one hand at the front of your hip, one hand under your bottom, and then same thing, you're dropping down. As you come up, you want to feel that big buttock muscle just contracting underneath your hand. Drop down, push back up. And again, drop down and push back up. And one more, drop down. Feet pressing into the floor, back up. Still roll down between each one. And again, coming up. Drop down, press back up. Drop down, press back up. And again, drop down, press back up. Roll right the way down. Gather up the legs, cross your ankles, hold the knees. Just gently, gently rock your knees towards your chest. So just releasing through your back a little bit there. That's nice. Grand. Okay, pop your feet back down again. Both hands underneath your head. Elbows right back and wide. So you're just cradling the back of your head with your hands. Fingers linked in together. So you've got your thumbs on your neck muscles. Elbows right back. So gently tuck in the chin. We're doing a little curl up. Curl your head and shoulders up. Look down over the top of the knees. And release back down. It's quite tempting with this one to start gripping at the back of the knees. So keep those back of the thigh muscles nice and soft. Curl up. And release all the way down. So pelvic floor muscles drawing up and in. Curl up. Normal breathing. And again, chin tucking in. Sore necks, don't do too many. You could just do the gentle chin nod if you wanted to, rather than curling right up. Chin tucked in, curl up. So you're sliding your ribs down your front there. And releasing down. Chin tucking in, curl up. Those wanting to make it more difficult, you could curl up, release halfway, come back up. Release halfway, come back up. Release halfway, come back up, and all the way down to the floor. And again, little chin nod, curl up. Release halfway, come back up. Release halfway, come back up. And again, release halfway, and back up. And all the way down. So rest your head down on the floor. Just take your nose in little tiny circles, about the size of a saucer to start with. Little circles with your nose. And then gradually make that circle a little bit bigger. So maybe the size of a side plate. And then a little bit bigger. So not great big raunchy movements, just nice and smooth. Nose going about the size of a dinner plate now. This doesn't do a lot for your hair at the back, I can tell you. It gives you one of those little bird's nests. And then go the other way. Start with the dinner plate size. Coming down to the side plate. And finally back to the saucer. Fantastic, great, okay, and then turn over onto your side. So underneath arm, right up above your head if it goes. Legs out straight, make sure you can see your feet, top hand nice and light. We'll start with the side leg lift, so point the toes, top leg up, foot up, pressing out through the heel as you come down. And again, point the toes, top leg up, foot up, press out through the heel. Nice and smooth. And you could switch that to a circle. So circling the leg, going forwards. Circling the leg, going backwards. And resting down. And again, float the leg up. Circle going forwards. Circle going backwards. And rest down. Great, okay, and turn over onto the other side. So same again, underneath arm, right up above your head if it goes. If it doesn't go, you could have your head on your brick, arm out in front, excuse my back. Legs straight, make sure you can see your feet, top hand nice and light. Start with the side leg lift. So point the toes, top leg up, foot up, pressing out through the heel. Normal breathing. Can switch those who want to maybe a circle going backwards. So remember the top hand is just for a little bit of balance. Just watch that you're not pressing through that top hand. You're aiming to use your deep tummy muscles, deep back muscles to keep you balanced on your side. Rest down after a couple of circles. Underneath legs staying as soft as you can. Coming up again, circling, going one way. Circling, going the other way. And resting down. Fantastic. Okay, and then turn over so you're lying on your tummy. So forehead on the mat, chin tucking in, hands just a little bit wider apart than your shoulders, legs a little wide apart, just pressing into your hands, coming up into a yoga cobra or similar, and coming down. So you're almost drawing a line with your nose, sort of along the mat, up the wall in front. Shoulders away from the ears, and back down again. Pressing into your hands, peeling up, that's lovely. And coming down. And going one more. And then coming up onto hands and knees. Knees apart, big toes together. Bottom right back between your heels. If your knees don't like it, then curl onto your side, bring your knees to your chest. So curling right down, arms in front. Now think of breathing into the back of the ribs here. So your ribs, back of the lungs sticking up towards the ceiling. Just breathing into that area. And then come up onto hands and knees. So hands a little bit wider apart than the shoulders, tuck the toes underneath, scoop in the tummy, chin tucked in, come up, if you can, into a down dog. So head nice and relaxed, just alternate heel drops. Remember, if you've got sciatic pain, I would go very easy with this because it's quite a nerve stretch. So just pressing right out through the heels. So pushing out through one, pressing out through the other. Just really getting that back of the calf, Achilles tendon lengthening. Keep the head nice and soft. Good for the arms, good for the wrists, getting a little bit of weight going through them. Fantastic. Okay, walk the feet in. If there was an elegant way I could try to do it, but I can't. Walk the feet in, scoop in the tummy, unfurl all the way back up into standing. Good, good. Grab your band. So, holding the band, elbows tucked in. Wrap the band around the back of your knuckles if you can. So, elbows right in, palms facing each other. Just pressing out into the band. So, keep the elbows right in by your tummy. Imagine you've got a £50 note between your elbow and your waist. You're keeping that clamped in there. Don't see many of those these days. Just pressing out with the hands. So if you've got a tough band like this blue one, or the black usually is very strong, you're not going to get a lot of movement. You're just getting those muscles round the back of the shoulders working. Good one for the shoulders. That's good. Okay, and then just grab a hold of the band. Hands a little bit wider apart than your wrists, than your hips. So put a gentle stretch on the band and just float both arms forward and all the way up. And come back down again. So you're just putting a little bit of stretch on the band. Float the arms up. If you can, either bring the band down on top of your head, or if you've got enough movement in the shoulders, behind your head. Press back up again, all the way down and forward. So just watch that you don't take the head forward in order to get the band behind it. So if the shoulders are a bit stiff, you might come down on top of your head. Otherwise you can just go behind, fingers pointing to the roof, opening right out again. That's good. And one more of those. Lovely. Okay, pop the band down to one side. We'll just do some roll downs. So feet about hip width apart, feet pointing to the front. Gently chin on your chest, draw the tummy in. Arms and head relaxed, roll down. So if you were going to touch your toes. So remember, if you're doing this first thing in the morning, you might be quite stiff doing this one. Scoop the tummy in, unfurl all the way back, head coming up last. That's lovely. And again, think of your head being really heavy. A little bit like a sort of puppet's head. You're letting the head go. You're letting the arms dangle. The knees are going soft. Roll down. You can stay there for a couple of breaths if your back's happy. If your back's not so happy down there, unfurl straight back up again. Head coming up last. And again, rolling down. Nice and smooth. Coming right down into the middle, unfurl all the way back up again. That's great. Slide the shoulders up and let them drop. And again, sliding up and let them drop. There we are. Thank you so much for joining me, and hope we see you again next week. Bye.